Now, hello. I am Empo. We're back with our fourth official Adirian campaign. We got a whole new cast of people. I am Empo, as I was saying. I've been DMing this world for about a year now, and I have four other campaigns that are put up onto the Twitch. Well, put up onto the YouTube, but this one's going to be streamed on the Twitch. So yeah, let's get everyone like introductions going and get everyone introduced to one another. So we'll just start up from the Discord and then move down. So Kukui, you're first.
Hi there, I'm Kukuri, and I will be joining this fine gentleman's campaign. And this is actually my first campaign ever. I'm fairly new to this because I've been listening to some campaigns, so I have some idea of what to do. Hopefully, Impo can lead me down the right path.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. Finny, let's go with you next.
Finny or Finey, whichever way you'd like to say it. Either way works. I've heard of D&D. I've listened to D&D for quite a while, but I've never actually gone through an actual campaign myself. But hopefully this will be a fun experience, and we'll get everything sorted.
Alrighty, I'm excited to have you here too, Finny or Finey. Which one do you prefer?
Actually, I'm called both. It doesn't matter to me.
I'll just call you Finny because that's reminds me of an old friend. All right, Miz, you're up. Let us know a little bit more about yourself.
I'm Miz. Actually haven't really played D&D before, but I've watched a lot of other Twitch streamers such as High Rollers. I've watched Arcadium streams, and I was very interested in playing for a very long time. I just couldn't find a group, but I'm hoping this will be a very fun experience. And thank you, Empo, for having me.
Of course, excited to play with all y'all. We have one more player, Dream. He's going to be a little bit late. So if you don't see him in this session 0, he'll definitely be here for session 1. He's just running another campaign as they missed their session this week. So yeah, with that, he might pop in during the one shot or during the session 0, but if he doesn't, he'll definitely be here for session 1. All right, Ranger, you're up next.
Okay, then my name is Ranger. This is gonna be my first time doing a D&D session. I got into it by watching Arcadium's videos and also other VODs of different D&Ds. So this is gonna be exciting. Thank you for allowing me to join this wonderful group, and hopefully we have a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And Zero, you're up last.
I'm Zero. First time playing D&D. I've been watching Arcadium, and I got more interested in watching the Breaking Bond series. So, very first time playing this game.
Yeah, Broken Bonds is actually going to be going on while we're doing this campaign, so I'll have to catch up when we're done and see what's happening. Looking like it's going to be a great session this week. They're fighting their first Violet, I think.
Yeah. The world update was.
Oh, it was crazy. The Grand Bazaar got destroyed.
Yeah.
All right, so if y'all want to hop in the Astral, we can begin. I believe y'all should have the campaign link, but if not, I can go get that for you real quick.
And I just hit join the game, right?
Yep, you just hit join game. So this is going to be the main program we use. Very similar to map tools and Roll20 if you've ever used them. It's kind of like a mesh of the two. Your character sheets will be there. You can open them by hitting space, and then we'll edit them after the break. After we decide what you guys are doing class-wise. And just let me know if you ever have any questions or if I'm going too fast and I can kind of slow down and talk you through the other decisions. I just want to get your guys' decisions here in a little notepad. Sorry for the keyboard noises.
Oh, good.
But I got one of them loud keyboards, so you'll hear it a lot. It's kind of like the meme within my other campaigns. They know whenever some shit goes down, you'll hear the space bar clicked a couple times. All right, so a little bit of a rundown on Astral Tabletop. You can ping by hitting the left mouse button twice. Yep. When you click your character, you'll see a bunch of macros on the bottom. These are like your initiative, your melee strength attack. Before the first session, I'll do your macros and all them, so they'll be fit out pretty good. You'll have like your main damaging spells and some other features and stuff from your class. To open your character sheet, you hit space. And you'll see down at the bottom left, there is build character and character notes. Character notes is for notes during the campaign. And if you actively want to edit your character sheet itself, you hit build character. Because if you don't hit that and you hit something like saving throw for dexterity, it'll show that in chat. So if you want to actively edit something on your sheet, you go into build character mode. That's very important because some things are activated by a click rather than like editing it from there. You have to go through the build character mode and do all that. Alrighty. Do you want to do campaign premises first, or do you want to do characters?
Probably.
Campaign premises is
Yeah, probably
better
the premises.
fit
Yeah, the
Yeah.
premises.
I agree.
Alrighty. So I got you guys about 4 campaigns. 3 of them are going to be like your typical D&D campaign, and then the 4th one is going to be the complete oddball of the campaign. So the first one, I will share my screen. Okay. So the chat cannot see this, but I will. You guys can see it, right? If you open the stream up on the Discord.
I can see it.
Alrighty. So the first campaign is focused on a group of religious paladins known as the Bastion, and the campaign is called the New Capital, where you'll be going to the site that the Bastion has designated as a new capital, which is called Ironhull, in the archipelago of Valenum. It's where all these campaigns will be taking place. And you guys are going to be building a settlement there and focus on like the progression from small village to big city capital. It's about halfway through exploration, about more than half through combat, and about half roleplay. So those are your like pillars of play, for example.
Alright.
Next up is the ruins. So the city of Vana was a very big city in the Valenum archipelago, and it acted as like the central figure of law and order. And before the city was destroyed by a group of pirates known as the Crimson Phoenix, that collapse kind of set the city back a couple of, or it set the continent itself back a couple of 100 years, and piracy and chaos began to take over. So, in this campaign, you guys will be focusing on scavengers, as they're making their way into the Valenum, or into Vana, to find whatever wealth is hidden within the city. So that one is about more or less exploration, and then combat and roleplay are a little bit behind as well. This third one is more water focused. As you're in an archipelago, you're going to be pretty much pirates, but the waters are not always safe in the Valenum. There are groups of ravenous fish people known as the Sahagwin that often are the bane of pirates, that often attack ships and leave sailors dead in the waves. You guys will be focusing on dealing with that problem in the Depths from Below campaign, and we'll have a tie to the city of Asurius, which is a citadel that was built underwater by the races of the underwater people. So Sea Elves, Darfelin, and Triton. And then finally, this campaign is the oddball one. It is focused on the magic known as the Amber. If you are familiar with the Violet energy, it is very similar to that from Arcadum's world. It is a very powerful and potent magic that is so refined that it becomes death energy. Or what I like to say, it's death magic that's so refined it becomes life, and vice versa. So for this campaign, you guys will be students who have been tasked with studying this amber energy. So if you want to do that, that one's more roleplay focused, and also is a big gamble. Because when you focus on things that are dangerous, or things that meddle with gods and goddesses, sometimes you piss off the wrong people. That makes sense.
It does.
So
Understandable.
when you look in the darkness, sometimes it likes to look back at you and might attack you. So that one's the oddball one. So I'll let you guys decide about each one. And if you have any questions about lore, I'll definitely answer them.
All right. In my opinion, since most of us here have never done this before for a while, or done this for the first time, maybe we should start something like simple and easy, nothing too difficult for now.
Okay, that's definitely fair. Something simple and easy.
Eh.
The first 3 campaigns are like definitely your vanilla D&D adventurers or D&D
Yeah,
adventures.
And you can always open up the world as things progress. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, from my character, 1 or 4 are good for me.
I would like to try number 1. I like that one.
Okay.
good to me. I'm fine with 1 or 4 as well.
I agree. Those seem pretty interesting.
I was gonna say the 4th one is not really an oddball, but more of like, setting the world at its fate.
Mm-hmm. It's the Amber is a new entity that kind of has appeared on the world stage, and so a lot of people are trying to figure out what it is, all its quirks, and how it works, and they want to figure out what it is before it gets too dangerous. All right, so we can put 2 and 3 to the wayside, as it seems like you guys are more focused on 1 and 4. Which one are you guys interested in? The city building campaign or the school life campaign where you mess with magic that's so powerful it can kill gods?
Maybe it's
Give me 1 second. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Uh
Uh-oh.
My bad.
No phones in class.
I
in the
didn't
s-
expect a
now-
phone
the
call.
Now,
Oh.
in a smart way, we should do number 1, but the Chad way could be number 4.
That's true.
I could do that wizard roleplay
Mm-hmm.
number 4
Yeah,
maybe.
same. I got a warlock, so that'll fit right in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm making a brand new character, so I don't really carry the weight, but I'd rather feel comfortable. I rather feel comfortable starting out fresh, and nothing where the actual life hangs in the balance.
Yeah, I mean, we could start with 1 and hope that leads into 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
going
actually, that could work. That could work.
going
Yeah.
for the gamble.
Yeah, we should start with 1 and just try to hope it leads into 4.
Alrighty.
Okay.
vice
Yeah,
versa.
I agree with that. That sounds good.
And let's do that.
Alrighty. Looks like you guys have picked the first one, the new capital. I will bolt that. Alrighty. We have picked the city building adventure. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of D&D. Let's get into the characters. So, 5e is easily one of the most accessible D&D systems. It is very simple to get into. It's very easy to build a character. The most important thing about making a character is rolling your stats. These stats will dictate what your character can do and how well they can do it. So, for example, who would like to roll their character first? And I'll run you through that.
You started fading away into the darkness.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Where
Amber was smiling back at you.
where'd I lose you guys?
Who would like to roll?
Yep. So, who would like to roll their stats first? You roll. I tend to do the 4d6 drop lowest method, so that you roll 4d6 and drop the lowest of the 4 numbers, and then you roll that 6 times. And I usually give you a veto if you don't roll really well. So I tend to be very lenient with that kind of stuff. So, all right, alrighty. So Kukui, do you see the chat on the right hand side? There should be like a little chat bubble.
Yep.
Alrighty, so click that, and at the bottom you'll see the 6 sets of dice: the D4, the D6, the D8, the D10, 12, and 20.
Mhm.
So just click the D6 4 times, and then when you did it 4 times, just send it through chat. Alrighty, so you got 20. So, okay, you got a max stat.
I
So
got
you-
3 max.
yeah, so you got an 18 for your first stat, which is really good. And then you do that 5 other times.
5 other times? Okay.
Yep. So you just copy the 4d6 5 other times for your stats. And I'm writing these down. You don't have to worry about that.
Wait, what? I completely lost you.
You lost. Oh, okay, it's fine. So what you just did You just roll 46 for your one stat, and because you rolled 6, 6, 6, and 2, you drop the 2, which becomes 18, which is the highest stat that you can roll for your character, for one of those stats.
Okay.
And then
So-
you do what you just did 5 additional times. Because you have 6 stats in D&D. You have Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma. And I'll explain those more when you guys roll your stats.
So do another 4d6 again.
Yep. Okay, you rolled 14. So that is a 6, 5, and a 2. So that is a 13. Then you do that again. That is a 16. Okay, so that's 6, 3, and 4. So that is another 13. That is another 14, which is a 13 again. That's another 14, which is 13 again. And then you have one more. Mm-hmm.
Okay. High roll, baby.
All right, that's a 20. So that is a 17. So you have 2 really good rolls and then 4 that are above average. Because think of a 12 as significantly better than what a commoner can do. A 10 is like the flat line for all people because that's a +0.
Hey, I'm better than a commoner.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so that is your stats, and the rest of you can also do that. But let's focus on Kukui first. So there are 6 stats in D&D. I just said them, but Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Charisma, Wisdom, and Intelligence. We'll use what Arcadum likes to call the potato method or the tomato
The
method.
tomato, yeah.
Strength is how easily you can crush a tomato. Dexterity is how far you can throw a tomato.
No, dexterity is how you dodge a tomato.
Oh, okay, Finny. Do you want to explain it? You want to explain it to him?
Backseat DMing.
Hell yeah.
Constitution is how well you can take a rotten tomato, like if you eat one, how well you can deal with that poison. Wisdom is being able to discern that a tomato does not belong in a fruit salad. Intelligence is knowing that it doesn't belong in a fruit salad. And charisma is being able to sell the tomato to someone in a fruit salad. If that makes sense. I might have fucked that up.
So,
Yeah, you got intelligence and wisdom
I
mixed
see
up.
I see you. You get the tomato, then you sell it to a fool for a better price.
Mm-hmm.
So you just barter.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
So
In-
intelligence is knowing that a tomato is a fruit, and then wisdom is knowing that
It doesn't
Tomato
belong
doesn't
in a
go
fruit
in a-
salad.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
actually know the analogy.
Mhm.
that
It was
Arcadum
it
used.
was close.
In-
It's very close.
Yeah, I got like an 85 on the test. That's passing enough.
Yeah,
Think of intelligence as like brain smarts, and then wisdom is like street smarts. So like you know
Okay.
not to do certain things on the street, but you also intelligence, you know, like, oh, like 5 + 5 is 10.
Like pretty much common sense.
Mhm.
Book smart. Book
Yo,
smart.
we gangster. We know what 2 + 2 is.
It's 3.
In
What's nine?
fish.
What's 9 + 10? 21.
21. Alrighty. So with those stats out of the way, who would like to roll their para stats as well?
I'll go.
Alrighty, so at the bottom of the chat, you'll see the D6. Click that 4 times. And if you want to make the process faster, you can copy and paste that just 6 times. And then you'll set that. Alrighty, 13. 12. 12. Uh-oh. 20, okay. 20 is good. 14. And 18. Alrighty, so let me write that down for you.
Ooh, a shaky start.
That is...
Yeah. Got one really good roll though. 2 pretty good ones.
That is 12. Next one is another 12. That is a 10 total. 4, 2, that is math 11. And you got a 20. Man, the one annoying thing about Astral is that it's chat, like whenever you go to your side of the window, it automatically pops out. I wish they would have like a locking feature so you can lock it to that side so that whenever you
Yeah.
because I have multiple monitors, so I have to move to my other monitor to look at like my OBS. So every time I do that, I open the chat, and it's just annoying, but you know, it's not too bad. So that's good. Both of you have an 18 so far in your stats. 18 is like the high mark. It's the highest you can roll, with the exception of rolling 4 6s, in which I just give you a 20. So I'll go over that while I'm writing your stats. So D&D has an incremental system. Every even, your proficiency bonus, or the bonus you get from that stat, is bumped up by 1. So a 10 is a 0, and a 20 is a 5. So 12, 14, 16, 18 are all bumped up by 1, that stat bonus. So if you put your 20 into wisdom, you'll have a plus 5 to wisdom. You'll be like an extremely wise character. And that also applies negative. So if you have an 8 to wisdom, you're not really the most smartest guy on the block. For example. So that is an 11, and then you have an 18, which is probably going to be like a 15 or 16. Yeah, that's a 16. Alrighty.
So what we rolled in chat is it like in the same order as it showing up in
No. You can dictate
No, you
that.
get to choose.
You can choose that. So
I
so
can
if-
be smart.
Yep. So if you want to play a wizard, you can put that 18 into your intelligence, or if you want to be a barbarian, put that 18 into strength.
Awesome.
Alrighty, and then that is Finny done.
Put it all on charisma. Sell my rotten tomatoes.
Yeah, you gotta sell your tomatoes, tomato salesman. All right,
Yeah.
who would like to go next?
All right, boys, let me show you how Chad does it.
All right, Ranger. Let me see your rolls.
All right, then, here we go. Please pray to the gods. Let's do this. First one.
Alrighty, 13.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
I'm seeing a trend. 15.
Okay.
That's not terrible. Another 15.
Okay.
A 12.
Uh-huh.
And a 14. So
Okay.
in this
Great chat.
in this scenario, what I would do is I would give you a stat reroll. So I'll let you reroll the whole block again. So you get
Okay.
another 6 stats.
All right, then, boys. Second time's a charm, forgive and forget. So. here we
Uh-huh.
go.
Okay, 15. You're starting better. 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
19. Okay, that's what we like to
Alright.
see.
Come on, baby.
Another
Yeah,
19.
come on. I want to see the big numbers.
A 10.
Shit.
And a 14. Okay, so
Not
that's
bad.
that's a lot better. That's a lot
We did
better.
the Family Feud clapping where it's
Um,
like, good answer.
Bum bum ba bum.
It's
11,
at least-
14.
I mean, it's not bad, but like, god damn, I have a 20. Oh well, I'll make do with what I got.
Hey, you got some pretty good stats. 19's just a little bit. It's like it'll give you a 17, which with your racial bonuses you can bump up to a 19, which is just as good.
Yeah, you're right.
I tell you, the worst thing is playing a character who has 13s in all stats, because then you don't really have any good bonuses, which is a bummer.
Just average. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're that average guy, which I guess you can make into a fun story, but it's a little stinky.
Yeah.
Then that is a 9, so you have the first negative stat in the party.
Oh,
And then-
fantastic.
Hey, negative stats are great because they act as like a character flaw. So if you want, you can have your 9 in strength and not be a strong boy.
Or a crutch.
Or a crutch.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're making me feel so much better now.
You guys have to do this for me because I'm not good at it.
Alrighty, that's your stat block. Not terrible. Alright, who would like to go next? We have Miz and Zero.
I give it a shot.
Alrighty, so at the bottom of the chat, there's the D6. You just hit that 4 times and you're good to go.
Don't mess up.
I have yet to have a player roll a 24, so hopefully that happens this campaign. That would be pretty sick.
That'd be cool.
6.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Right.
Can we get a reroll?
That's the opposite of 24.
That is the lowest. That's the lowest, or one of the lowest stats you can roll. That's a 5, so it's not terrible, but I'll let you re-roll when you're done. So the 6, a 14, a 10. You might have to re-roll the whole stat block. Hold on.
Probably.
Probably.
Unless you get 2 20s.
Boy, this thing loves us.
17,
Not too bad.
and then 12.
Uh,
All right.
Foreshadowing for our campaign.
We're gonna hit with the good old hit me with a good old reroll.
Let's see if the gods are on your side. Oh,
Okay, 11.
16, not bad.
okay.
16.
Wow.
20. Already
Ooh.
starting better.
Ah, take it. 15, alright. 15.
Alrighty, got one more. Let's see what you got.
Ah,
The chat takes a little slow sometimes to load, but alrighty, so 11,
Okay.
16, 20, double 15s, and a 13.
Okay, at least I'm not the worst one out of us all here.
I didn't believe in the dice.
Hey, you got some a lot better than your first time, that's for sure.
How are the cards?
That is a 10. Then that is a 14. That is a 16.
The tarot cards are showing us our foreshadowing of future sessions.
13. Maybe I'll just throw you your first amber enemy first time. How you guys doing? Good thing you didn't pick the last campaign, because that would have been a very fun first campaign to start with.
The best half of us would have made it.
Disastrous.
Alrighty, and then last but not least, we have Miz.
Alright.
So
So,
then-
I rolled 6
Um,
more times.
Everything just gets unleashed.
Okay. I could just copy that. Oh.
Yep, you can copy and paste it.
We believe in you. No, we don't. I mean, you're good, man. You're good.
Let's see. 15. That's not bad.
That's good.
Alrighty, you got one more. Alrighty, not too
A lot of
bad.
15s.
That's not bad.
That is a 15. Yep. I'm gonna bump that 15 up to a 16 for you,
No, thank you.
so that everyone has like a decently good stat.
Boom, bang, pow.
And then that is 14. Math is complex.
Matherino.
And then
Okay, so Kukoi and I have the highest amount of points, and the rest have the lowest. You know what? I can work with this.
and that's you are
It's
Miz.
gonna look down upon you like, haha, fools! We're better than you. So by a couple points.
No, I'm definitely gonna be like, don't worry, you'll do better. You'll do better. Pat you on the back. I'll
I'm
give you
not.
like some inspiration, aiding
I'm
you.
I was just like looking down upon these mortals.
Ranger's
Oh,
gonna be like, ha ha ha! Useless you are.
You have an 89 stat? Too bad. I have 91. That-
Alrighty. Yeah, overall pretty good stats. Alright, now we get to the fun part. I linked you guys the 5e tools, I'll link it up again. And now we get to talk about your races and your classes. So I'll link you the specific pages for each, and we can get started. This is the fun part. So you guys are gonna be more or less tied with the Bastion. They don't really discriminate on races, so mostly everything is fine, except for like the more like recent races. Run them by me first. But for most vanilla stuff like your dwarves, your elves, and all of that, I'm mostly fine with them. So if you want to go something like that, then I'm mostly fine with it. But like the more exotic races, just pass by me first. And this is the part where you guys can actively discuss what you want to play, what you want to do, and then we can focus on that. Any questions you have, you shoot them by me.
Righty.
Well, why don't we figure out what classes we should be, so that we have a strong support, so like we're not lacking in one certain thing.
Yeah, who knows what they want to play, like, go ahead and speak first and let us
Yeah,
know.
I guess that's a good idea.
I mean, there are
Yeah,
two
yeah,
that there was two I was looking at since I was like thinking of, you know what, I'll play a support role, but with these roles kind of okay for me with the points I have, I'm thinking, okay, either I'm gonna play as a warrior or a rogue. I'm just trying to figure
Alrighty.
out which one.
Okay. Warrior and or fighter and rogue are both very good. Fighter is like your stereotypical good martial class where you can almost pick any weapon you want and still be pretty good with it. And rogue is your I'm a thief class and I can do a lot of damage from the darkness kind of class. Which is
Okay.
pretty good.
Yeah,
You know what?
I-
You know, I'll give rogue a try. You know, this is my
Alrighty.
first time, so we'll see what happens.
cool. Nice.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna be hold on.
Also,
Warlock.
don't feel like you don't have to. You can double dip if you want. There can be two rogues. That's completely fine. But I understand for your first time not wanting to have two people with the same class. But that's not as bad as like a lot of people think it is. If you double dip, that's fine. Because even with like, for example, there can be two clerics in the party, and the two clerics are insanely different. One could be like the damage cleric, and the other one's like the more healy cleric. The thing about D&D is that each class, even if you double
Has
dip,
subclasses.
yeah, every class has a subclass, which gives it extra flavor.
Spicy town.
Mm-hmm. I know Zero has his character down. Are you still doing the that idea you sent me?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
I kind of want to change it up a little bit.
Alright.
Draconic Blood Dragonborn. I like that one.
Oh, so Sorcerer?
Wait.
Because
it
Draconic
has to be.
Bloodline is a sorcerer subclass.
No, then I want to be just a regular one because I
Alrighty.
want to be a warlock.
What color Dragonborn would you like to be? So there are different
Red.
colors. Alrighty, red. Coolio.
Rogue, and we have sorcerer or warlock. That's right.
Yep, we have a sorcerer and a warlock. Sorcerers are your funky.
I thought
they're-
it was a rogue and a warlock.
Yeah, a rogue and what did I say? Sorcerer
Oh,
and
I'm
warlock.
sorry.
Yeah, you
I'm
said
sorry.
sorcerer and warlock.
It's
That was
it's all good.
rogue and warlock.
Think of warlock. They're like the halfway point between a martial class and a spellcaster. They're like spellcaster light in the sense that they get 2 spell slots and they reset them on a short rest. So like they're the how like what's a good gaming term for that? They're the engine that kind of stops short, but they can refuel very quickly.
I have a patron.
They have a patron too, which is a really cool roleplay effect. Like you can have a devil patron, you can have a celestial as your patron, which is an angel, and you can even have a weapon that kind of tells you what to do.
That was one of my options. Thinking about that.
Ranger or warlock is my favorite class because of the lore element it adds.
Yeah.
Like you could be a patron of the Gambler Black in Verum, for example.
Roll the dice.
So Zero, we'll have to talk about your patron off screen, and because I don't really have too many patrons, so we can definitely make that off screen. Alrighty. So we have a rogue and a warlock. Anyone else have any ideas? Do you need me to explain the classes? Give you a little rundown?
I guess like the subclasses for rogue. What kind of like subclasses are there for a rogue?
Okay, so rogues, you don't get the rogue subclass until level 3. They each differ with each class, but there are a couple of subclasses you can do. Thief is like your stereotypical thief class, so like you're a master of lockpicking and getting gold from enemies. There's Arcane Trickster, which is like as it says, trickster who uses magic, so like it focuses a lot on spells like Mage Hand to lockpick doors and get things off of people. Assassin is the combat class rogue, so you can do a lot of damage if you surprise people and be a very good assassin. And there are a couple other classes as well, but when we hit level 3, I'll talk to you about that privately.
Okay, then no problem.
You can also be like a pirate if you want to go with that
Yep.
theme. Swashbuckler or something.
You could be
like that.
Swashbuckler, which is also very good. It's like the light on your feet rogue, who also can be in the front line a lot more.
I see. All right.
You have Barbarian and Fighter, which are your main martial classes. That Barbarian's like your I'm angry, I want to rage class that can deal a lot of damage. Fighter is like the I can do almost anything. It's like your very moldable 5e class where you can use any weapon from like a katana to a halberd and still be pretty decent. Ranger is your pick enemies from afar. As I said, Rogue's the stealth class. Paladin is like the stereotypical paladin you would think of. They're very damage focused, but they can also cast spells and smite, so they can deal a lot of damage using their spell slots. Clerics are the healing class. Paladins also do that too, but it's very low key. Bards are your musicians. Warlocks are your I gain my magic from demons and angels and anime people.
Hell yeah.
And sorcerers are like the weird child at the dinner. Like they gain their magic from something that's called the weave, which is like the magical source for every single spellcaster. So they can get their magic by accidentally slipping into a void, getting it from someone in your family boned a dragon 100 years ago, and you get
so
magic
they're
powers.
Babies.
Yes.
That's special.
There are many different. They're like the child that all the other magical effects that don't really apply to the other classes. They're warlocks. Wizards are your fighters, but spellcasters, so they can deal a lot of damage with their spells, and they have the most wide spell knowledge out of any class. And did I forget one? Druid can transform into other animals, and they're also pretty good with healing and spells as well.
What the heck is Artificer?
Artificer is a crafting class, so they mainly deal with the crafting of magic items for their party. You can add like specific things to your party members to give them boosts to damage or AC, or give them cool little things. And they also have the nice added extra benefit in my world of being able to make magic items and spells
Oh, that's pretty cool.
at later levels. Of course, with my supervision, you can't just make something that deals 5,000 damage to an enemy.
Damn.
Of course.
There goes my
Dang
dream.
it.
I wouldn't recommend Artificer to a new player, but if you want to try it, you definitely can. And Blood Hunter is the critical role class that deals with blood and getting buffs from dealing damage to yourself. Which is also pretty cool.
Masochist.
Pretty much. They at later levels they can turn into werewolves and lycans. And
Wait, didn't Whoops do that in what was it, Gambler's Delight?
I believe that is a homebrew thing by Arcadum that lets them
it's
turn
one
into
of his,
werewolves.
NPCs does it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, Blood Hunter is a class I wouldn't really recommend to new people because it can get kind of complicated and very wordy in that regard. Alrighty. So, if you guys need me to explain that again, I'll definitely do it. But what are you guys thinking?
I've chosen already.
Instead of thinking of like, what kind of archetype do you want to do? What kind of character do you want to play as? Like, what's your main goal?
Yeah, right
My
now.
main goal is to blow up.
To blow up? All right.
No. My main goal is to be like a jack of all trades, where I can be assisting in like multiple varieties.
Well, the thing is, let's go back to that blowing up part because you can actually do that. There is a subclass of sorcerer that's called wild magic. That whenever you use a specific ability, you roll on the table, and one of them is you cast fireball on yourself
Oh.
Or
Okay.
polymorph.
or polymorph.
So a bomber. Oh, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Or get
But-
ripped into the void or something.
But it's completely random, so there's a chance that you get something that like spawns flowers in your hand, or I make a nuke.
Wild magic's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But if you want to look for the jack of all trades, that's actually a bard feature you can use. So bards like the bards like I can be good at any spell, give or take.
Or you can be a druid, you can heal, you can be like a tank.
Mhm.
Damage. That's another good one.
Maybe I want to be a battle bard.
That'd be cool.
Battle bards are good.
Bard.
They're a viable class because
They are.
they're pretty good with weapons, and you can go College of Valor, or College of Swords, which give you added benefits. They're like your big support class but like not necessarily just for healing, but for buffing people as well.
Hmm.
And plus, you get to play a sick ass instrument too, which is always fun.
Fuck, I can't play instruments.
Oh,
Damn it.
Bard is pretty fun
Fiddly,
though.
teach me.
I've got 3 instruments behind me, so.
Teach me. Let me think about it.
alrighty,
I'm popping between paladin and sorcerer myself.
alrighty.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Currently, we have a semi spellcaster light, and we have a on and off burst damage character so far. So, if you want to fit a niche, there is no tank, there's no healer, healer/support, and there's no main magic class damage dealer.
Oh, there's no maiden damage dealer. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm between like a bunch of things. Well,
Alrighty.
between maybe wizard, either paladin, fighter, or cleric.
All right.
So I'll kind of figure it out what other people want to play first, and I'll kind of just make a decision because I like to be like the flex.
Yeah,
Flexible.
that's all good.
Is there a type of class that allows for like lifesteal while yet being tanky at the same time?
Not necessarily lifesteal, but there are some classes that can give you temporary hit points, and those are like more or less subclass features, so you get them later. But in that regard, I don't think so. Well, there's a warlock feature that whenever you knock an opponent unconscious, you can gain temporary hit points equal to your charisma modifier, I believe. But that is a warlock subclass, which I think Zero is actually going to get because he's a fiend patron.
Super tanky warlock.
Let me ask Dream what he wants to play, so that might make your decision a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to play a class that can heal, I mean, you could play a paladin can heal, player can heal. If you want to do damage and heal, you can do those.
And druid can also heal, I believe.
Druid.
And
Fighter
Bard.
has second wind.
Mm-hmm.
Which gets it to heal.
Yeah,
Bard
and then
can heal.
Bard has, I think, minor heals.
Yep, Bard can also heal. Most spellcasters, with the exception of Wizard, have access to healing spells. So anyone can kind of be a healer, a light healer. Paladins have like lay on hands where they can expend singular points into someone to heal like diseases and that kind of stuff. Clerics are your more known healers, and so are bards in a way, and druids too. But druids are too focused turning into giant T-Rexes to rip people in half, kind of thing.
What were you thinking? Like a class that can like do like a melee class you want to play, or like a caster? You're not sure.
Honestly, I'm not sure because there's like a lot of character varieties I want to do, but then my mind is basically saying, "Nah, you got to do this one, or you got to do this one."
Yeah, I know how that can be.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when Dream responds to me. Hopefully that narrows your decision down a little bit.
I'm currently looking at meta magic and going yummy.
Okay, metamagic is very fun. I'm also going to be using the Verum rules where sorcerers can use a bonus action spell regardless of the level. That was usually they can only in normal combat you can only cast a cantrip and a regular leveled spell if one of them has the bonus action feature. But I'm going to be letting sorcerers do that regardless of level, so they can cast Expeditious Retreat and then Chromatic Orb in the same turn.
I have no clue what half of those.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's just essentially making sorcerers better spellcasters.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the type of team we have right now, and I'm thinking along the lines of a type of tank who can have combos with other people. Is that possible?
Fighter maybe.
Oh, actually, yeah. Fighter would be.
You can have a shield if you want a shield. Great Mace.
If you want to focus on comboing, I would say all the martial classes are good in their own way at comboing. Fighter has this one subclass that's called Battle Master, where you use many different maneuvers. That's at 3rd level though, so that's in the future. But if you want to plan for that, you can become a Battle Master and use those different maneuvers. Is it Battle Master? Oh god, my DM knowledge.
It's like an action surge, which lets you do like another action, so you like attack twice on the same turn.
That is very big at low levels because you only have one attack action a turn. With action surge, you can do it twice.
Yeah. You do like a lot of damage really quickly.
Okay, Dream said he's looking at Ranger,
Okay, cool.
Okay.
but that also depends on what he rolls.
True.
Okay, so I'll just put a question mark here. So you want to play a tank? Okay, so I'll take tank off mine because I was thinking like paladin tank. But
The thing is, Ranger
mind.
is also, as much as it's supposed to be a range class, it's also a really good melee class too because they get access to special spells that give them buffs. Which is interesting because the new meta in Ranger is to play like a dual-handed or a dual-weaponed Ranger, and
What the heck?
just deal. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, rangers are like kind of like assassins, right? Sort of.
Yeah, they can.
I've never been one to really care about metas. I just play what I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
Fine, that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Completely go as oddball as you want. The thing about D&D is, if you want, you can make an orc who is a great wizard. And then that's a character in itself, because most orcs are known as being very dumb people. In the world, at least, because they're...
I am smart orc.
Yep.
This is a magic stick. A stick that can do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Deer is playing war. I'm just writing this down so I have an idea.
Yep.
Dream is playing the ranger.
Oh,
Who
when
was
we
thinking
get...
about playing tank, by the way?
I was thinking about it.
Oh, it's Kukui. Okay. Let's just see.
When we get to features, because you're going to be a Dragonborn Zero, we get to have... I'll give you some extra options for your character. Because you can be from the Draconic Union, which is on the continent, and it's like the hub of Dragonborns and Scaled Kin. Which is really cool, and it gives you some additional features.
Okay, so let's see. So we have tank. So we have two people who are like tank, maybe bard. I might try cleric, honestly.
Okay.
So,
Cleric of Fate.
I don't know what kind. I was thinking. I'm not sure what kind of cleric I want to be. I'm thinking. If you want to explain some of the cleric stuff.
Sure. So Cleric is one of the most varied classes in the game. They have like 18 subclasses you can go into, and whatever like archetype you want to do, they most likely have a subclass for it. So if you want to be your sneaky cleric, you got Trickster, or you got Trickery Domain. If you want to be the healing, you got Life. If you want to be the like the Necromancer, you got Death Domain Cleric. If you want to be like the skill cleric, you can do I believe it's called Intelligence Domain or something along that, Knowledge Domain.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there is such a big variety of classes and subclasses for cleric. It's gonna take you a little bit to go and comb through them because there's so many.
Okay, I'll look through cleric for a bit.
Alrighty.
I don't mind playing like a kind of healer support damage role, but we'll see.
There you go.
Yeah.
There is the classes.
So okay.
So
I'll put you as most likely cleric.
Yeah, cleric or wizard, but most likely cleric, because we look like we need a healer. Cool abilities.
Alrighty, Finny, what are you thinking? Finny
I'm
and
really
Kukui.
looking at sorcerer, but I'm trying to figure out all of these tabs, like Divine Soul, Draconic, Shadow Storm, Wild.
Okay, so Wild Soul or Wild Soul Sorcerer is the one I told you about, where their magic is just random and it happens at random times. So you can get the one that's like a random box of flowers, or you can make a fireball that centers around you. Giant Soul is that you were born or you have giant blood in you, and you can pick your giant ancestry. So like you could be a fire giant and you get specific features from that, like specific spells and different things like that. Storm is, I believe, movement based. So like you can manipulate the weather around you and move across the battlefield at great speeds. And Draconic Bloodline is that you have a dragon within your history, and eventually you begin to morph into a dragon. So you get the wings of a dragon and you get the tail at one point. So you begin to shift into like a half dragon, half human. And then Divine Soul is that you were blessed by an angel or a celestial being, and you have access to healing spells. Depending on your alignment, that kind of changes. And then there was one more.
Shadow.
Shadow is like the stealthy sorcerer. So specifically, you can cast spells like Darkness, which lets you stealth around easy. And
Ooh, you could pair well with Ranger, actually.
mm-hmm.
And they have quirks.
Yep.
Like quirky.
Mm-hmm. He's quirky.
Nice.
I can be a quirky sorcerer.
Yep. Why have I been pinged? Who has pinged me?
You
Good
blinked
question.
once last
Ingenuity.
week.
Okay, here's a question about cleric.
Alrighty.
So I can heal if I want to. If I pick, let's say I go into the grave domain.
Yes.
That's like a hybrid. It looks like it's like a kind of like almost like a necromancer-ish, but also has some healing. Am I able to still give healing skills as well as have like necromantic skills?
Yes. So as a grave cleric, or as a cleric in general, you prepare spells. So like, you have a set of spells equal to your wisdom modifier. So you can pick spells like Cure Wounds or Healing Word, which are the main cleric abilities that you can have. And then each subclass also has like a channel divinity, where you can channel spirits and get like a special ability. Let me see what grave is for you.
Yeah, I was just wondering because like I don't know if there's like schools of like because you pray to a god as a cleric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your abilities come from a god. Because if I play as like a dark necrotic god, I feel like maybe I wouldn't be able to heal because of that. Because I would like to heal.
No.
Right.
As a cleric, there's usually no requirements like that.
Okay, so I wouldn't be-
as
I wouldn't-
like as a battle cleric, you can still heal, or
Okay,
as a necromancy cleric, you can still heal. It's just that your flavor will be a little bit different.
Okay, it's not like I'm healing people with like death magic and killing them. Like I'm dead.
No.
Okay.
No. It's still healing, but like the flavor will be a little bit different. Like maybe you crush a bone into bone dust and then spray it around them, healing them, for example.
Oh yeah, almost like a
Bloated
shaman.
your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
I'm
worry, I
like
got you.
shamanistic or something. Okay, that
Yep.
makes sense. Yeah, maybe,
Mhm.
maybe. Okay, I'm thinking maybe that. I'm just looking at a couple more things. Cool.
Yeah, Grave Cleric is fun because they're like the halfway point between life and death. So like they're kind of like the god that, or they're the cleric that kind of hinges in the balance.
Being
Cool.
a necromantic cleric.
Yeah, because I like Bane and False Life. Those are pretty cool. And then you get Raised Dead, which is pretty crazy.
Yep. You also get a really good spell that's called False Life at the beginning, at the first set of levels. That's always going to be a really good spell because it gives you temporary hit points, which are
Yeah.
like bonus hit points for those who do not know. And the spells that you get from your cleric or from your domain is actually really good because you don't have to spend one getting Revivify. You always have it.
Yeah, Revivify is pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like.
At later levels, Revivify is the spell that you'll have like, okay, someone dies, I need to heal them real quick, give me a diamond and I'll just pump it into them.
Yeah, it's super powerful. Cool.
Except your character dies through other circumstances where they cannot be revived.
Yes, yeah.
Amber death.
Like a lore death.
It's what we call amber suffering.
Ah,
No one has died yet. There's been one amber boss fight so far, and no one has died, which is good. I have a 0% kill rate. Hopefully, you guys aren't the first.
And if, like,
let's break records, boys.
super
never know.
nice. He's got like
Starts eating literally everything in the world.
Let's break the record, boy.
he's got like DM20 freaking natural dice. It's just like, oh god. Just
Yep.
crits on every attack.
All right, so Finny, are you thinking of sorcerer?
Be a sorcerer. I'm just thinking which type.
Alrighty, I'll put you in for sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Okay, cool.
I have made up my mind. I will like to be a half-elf monk.
Alrighty, that's nice. Half elf is always good. Half elf's like the human elf. mix.
Mark of detection as well.
Alrighty, let me look at that just to make sure, because I know dragon marks are a little bit different. Mark of detection.
Hmm.
Or I could do a storm. You could fly around the entire map.
Um, hmm. Mark of detection. Oh, okay. That is fine with me.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Alrighty, let me just add that mark of detection.
Okay, there's two races that I've been looking at that I've been considering.
Okay.
The first one's the human, because I'm looking at the thing that there's a like added +1 to all, pretty much all stats in general,
Yes.
which is pretty good. However, I was looking at the other one, the changeling, and I noticed that while its stats are not as great as the human, it has the shape-shifting ability, which
Mm-hmm.
I feel it makes more sense that I do a changeling rogue because much easier for stealth and detection and all that. So I'm thinking of either going that or doing the human. What would you recommend?
Well, I'll give you a little bit of lore on changelings. So changelings are they are cursed beings, similar to a race that's known as the Kenku. Changelings made a bet with the wrong person. They made a bet with the wrong god, and the god has punished them by making them pretty much hideous in the sense of like I cannot show my face to people. So instead, changelings change their appearance to different people. Whenever they see someone, they're like, okay, I know your face, and I'll just change into you, which I think is a pretty cool ability. And humans are your very standard race. They get a +1 to everything, or you can add +2 to 2 stats. So that's the big difference. You can add +2 to 2 stats, or just 1 to everything.
Okay, as a changeling, do I have to show like my changeling self, or can I always stay as this
You can do
image
either.
I
You can do either. Changelings actually have a feature that makes it so that when you show, I thought they had that. Oh, I'm tripping. Never mind, I'm tripping. Never mind. Just forget what I said. They can pretty much change their appearance at will, or as an action within combat.
All right, all right. You know what? Well, the human thing is not bad. My stats aren't pretty terrible, so you know what? I'm gonna go with the changeling because it's 2 plus charismatic, so I can
Mhm.
put the bad one to that one, and then 1 plus to anything I want. So I'll do changeling.
So a good idea to think about with stats is that a +2 is always going to be a +1 to your stat, because if the stats go up every positive number or every
No, I get
every
that.
even number.
I
So
get that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna put the bad stat I have to that,
mhm.
so that the +2 can like balance it out.
Yep. And the rule to follow, it's always good to turn a negative into a positive and a positive into another positive. Because, as I said, moving it up to a positive number increases the threshold or the bonus by 1, which is
Yeah.
really
So
good.
I'll be a changeling rogue man.
Alrighty.
Ranger is literally the 1982 film The Thing
Mm-hmm.
with his rogue type and changeling. Oh,
Yes.
fuck.
Oh, don't you worry. I promise not to show my real self.
Well, I mean,
Ish.
I'm not gonna be able to see it.
Most changelings can show their true forms, but there are some changelings that when they show their true forms, it just strikes fear into people. That's like a very rare thing with most changelings. So when you walk around in your normal form, there's really no big issue with that. But you can change your form as much as you like, as long as it fits in with the requirements of that feature.
Ooh, wait, Ranger. So, remember how I was talking about combos? I know
Yeah.
that you can fear people and make them run out of someone's attack of opportunity, right? So if you do that when I'm right next to them, I can instantly hit them if you can do a fear tactic, and
Ooh,
you can sneak up on people. Ooh.
I like this is going. Okay then. All right, I'll put that in my list of com. Oh, I do have a question. If you
Mhm.
choose a god, will it also affect your stats as well?
If you choose a god as a cleric, you get something that's called a church boon, which gives you a positive and a stat. But if you wish to be a follower of a god, it gives you a lip service, which is a specific proficiency in a skill or a tool.
Okay then. So let's say for example, I follow the god. There was one god I was looking at. Lolith. Is that that's how it's called? Lolith or
Lolth?
Crawl? Loth, the crawl.
Mm-hmm.
How would that work for me in general?
So if you want to become a follower of Lolth, what you would get as your lip service is a skill proficiency in deception. Or if you were a cleric of Lolth, you would get +1 to your charisma.
Okay, then all right, then that works. That works
And
perfect
the
for Rogue.
more and when you gain enough trust with Lolth, she will give you that church boon anyway. But it's just that clerics and paladins get that at the start because they're specifically faith based.
Trust. Last time I checked, she's the god of deceit, words of divinity, and pride.
Well,
so
trust isn't the right word. Trust isn't the right word. I guess like if you're a good
Uh,
servant.
so like she won't stab me in the back; she'll just stab me in the front.
Oh no. It's gods never really interfere with mortal affairs unless you piss them off too much.
unless they really don't like you.
Yep. Like
Make it that year.
if a god has a bad day, he might send one of his children out to get you.
Fine children.
Demigods, which are killable gods essentially.
Or if they're a little less pissed, maybe a follower. But
Yep.
Okay, then all right. Then. Gotcha.
Alrighty, so far we have a changeling rogue, a red dragon warlock, a half elf monk, and we have a cleric. Are you set on that, Miz?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play cleric.
Alrighty.
Let's see, or yeah, I don't think paladins are not really like the best healers. So
They can heal. They have spell slots with which they can heal with. But compared to a cleric, they're not really that focused on spells.
right, they're more like up in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, just like a cleric.
Paladins can use their spell slots to do smites, which they're like the big burst class
Oh, really? Okay.
in regards to damage.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what do clerics want? They want wisdom the most, or they want?
Yes, they want wisdom, and because of the armor you'll have pretty high AC, so you don't really need to worry about dex, with the exception of having good initiative. But usually they focus on strength and wisdom.
Oh, strength and wisdom. Okay.
Strength is almost always good to have because depending on the weapons you use, it's that's like the most beneficial.
Right.
But clerics get class proficiency in wisdom and charisma, so they get proficient in those saving throws.
Okay. 'Cause I'm just thinking like what the race I want to be right now.
Okay. I can give you some suggestions.
Okay. Sure.
It's always good to get a race that gives you a +2 in that stat. So, for example, a Furbolg gives you a +2 wisdom. Another one is you could be a human and put your 2 into wisdom, and then your other you put 2 of them into wisdom, and then another 2 into another. But that doesn't mean you have to stick to those classes. You can be anyone really, because you all rolled pretty well, so you don't have to necessarily follow those races that give you good stats. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out like what kind of race I would like that would be okay as well. So I'm just gonna think a little more about the race. So, but I'm thinking like probably the grave. That's gonna be later though. So.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So let's see.
And what about you, Finny? What you thinking?
I'm hip hopping between shadow magic and wild magic.
Alrighty, and what about your race?
Oh shoot, I forgot that's a thing.
It's all good.
He was in such deep meditation, thinking he just forgot his race.
Mm-hmm.
I know yesterday I was looking at the Alakai quite a bit on your homepage.
Oh, currently Alakai are not available yet, as there's only one of them in the world.
Alright, sounds good.
But in the future, in the future there will be more of that race, which will become available. So if you live to your second campaign, maybe you can become one of them.
I still want to do the slime folk kind of thing.
The what kind of thing?
Slime folk.
Oh, like I said, the best I can give you is a slime companion, perhaps.
Yeah. I'll make do. I'll make him intelligent enough to start the race.
Slave, bring me the notebook. I need you to record and write some things.
I must know answers.
Alrighty. Let me just see. Is there anything I need to go over with those that have picked their class? Zero is going Fiend. Should write that. That's important. Rogue doesn't get their archetype until level 3. Same with Monk. Same with Ranger. Sork and Cleric get theirs at level 1, so we'll have to decide that after you pick your race.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Alrighty.
A couple options. I would like something that has a decent amount of strength. Maybe it's Constitution. Yeah, I'm trying to find something that has like some wisdom and some strength, but there's like a limited amount of options. I don't want to. I'm not trying to min max. I'm just trying to like.
Yeah.
What do I really like want? Because I probably will draw my character, so it's something I want to draw.
Most races have their wisdom as +1. Like you could go Ghostwise Halfling, which has a +1 in wisdom and +2 in dex.
Okay, dex. Okay.
They focus on Ghostwise Halflings have like a telepathic speech so that they can speak to people telepathically. That's like their main feature.
Oh yeah. What is a Kalash?
Kalistars are interesting because they are natives to the Dream Plane. So they are classes that focus on psionics.
I just want to see what they look like. Oh, they're kind of like human looking.
Yeah, they look very similar to humans.
Dryads almost.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll look at that.
Okay.
Because they're wisdom and charisma.
Yeah, they have advantage on all wisdom saving throws, which is really good.
And Mind Link seems pretty crazy.
Ooh. Talk to us throughout the battlefield.
Yeah. That might be pretty cool, actually.
I'm liking the team we're having here.
Yeah, we got a pretty good team. Kalistars are they have been blessed by the split dreamers, the gods of the dream, Weru and Weron, and they have the ability to like manipulate a little bit of the dream to their will, which is really cool.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool because I could do some stuff with that.
So you could actually change your domain to fit that as well. Because Grave is actually perfect for that because they are like the crux between life and death, and that is what the dream gods represent.
Yeah.
The afterlife and then the next lives, also known as the Verge.
Cool. Yeah, so I can. It's like a role play thing. I can make the grave thing less about like necromancy, but it could be like more like nightmares and like.
Yeah.
I could do
exactly.
Like that. That'd be kind of cool. It'll still be like an undead, but it'll be like a form of something that fits the role play. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that sounds pretty good actually.
Alrighty. Alright,
Honestly thinking going down the dream route, and if we do ever get like a second season and we do go towards the amber path, maybe the dream part can help us out.
Mm-hmm. The cool thing, I mentioned it, but the Verge is... Have you guys seen Avatar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Think of the Verge as like a very condensed Avatar state. So you have 10 lives in total, and every life is a life lived through that Verge line. So like your one life could be a goblin, and then you go to a half-orc, and then you go to like a Yuan-Ti. That's how kind of like the world is connected as you're reincarnated into each life. And then after your 10th life, you move on to the dream realm as your tether between your soul and your physical body is weakened to the point where you can't latch on to other bodies, which I think is cool. And over time, you get the kind of like you become a mix of all 10 of those people. So like your features like become a mix of those, which is pretty neat. The only exception to that are elves. Elves do not have a lifeline because they live for 1,000 years. That's because their god's still alive and not dead. But that's like advanced lore stuff you don't need to know about unless you specifically go the dream realm or the dream path with your character. Then you would specifically know.
Would that affect the half elf?
Because half elves are a mix, they still have a verge life. They're still counted in that race. That's also coincidentally where deja vu comes from. If one of your characters lived in a city and you get to that city, you'll have like a strange sense of familiarness, as like I feel like a connection to this bar here or to these people that live here. It's a pretty neat concept.
Can we travel the world, please?
You can certainly try. You can try and lock the continents. The Valenum is the one that all my campaigns so far have been in. Alrighty. Finny, have you thought of a race?
I'm looking at whatever a Simic hybrid is.
Ooh, Simic Hybrid. I think that's one of the newer ones. I'll have to look at that.
Verdun.
Give me a second. Yeah, we're back.
Simic Hybrid.
They have a grapple?
Or a lizard folk. In between those three right now.
Okay.
So you're basically an octopus person. Yeah, it looks like it. Grappling appendage.
Alright, I think I actually, for Simic Hybrid and for Verdun, I don't allow them just because they're like very lengthy. Specifically the Simic Hybrid, they're a very lengthy race. So
Okay.
For now, I tend to usually have them on the side until I figure out a way to make them a bit different.
Okay.
I apologize for that.
All good.
Also, don't forget there are the homebrew tieflings as well on the World Anvil. If you want to spec into one of them.
Oh, to chai.
Yep. They are they should be on the one page split.
So there's Suffer, Champion, Winter, Autumn.
The cool thing about the Sufferers and the Champions is that there are only two of them a generation. So there's one Sufferer and there's one Champion, and they are fated to duel. And the winner of that duel dictates how the race is going to fare for that generation. So if the Sufferer wins, they go through a period of turmoil. If they succeed, they go through a period of success.
Huh.
And there is currently a Sufferer in the world.
So there is a Sufferer, but not a champion yet.
There is no champion. I alluded to it, but if you wanted to be the champion, I can just Thanos that character. Because I think having a PvP scenario is fucking sick.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Product community? Dang. Champion of Light.
Oh, Wisdom Charisma. I'm just looking at gods right now because I
Yep.
have to pick one, correct? So, do you have any
yes.
recommendations?
So, if you're going Cleric or you're going Kalashtar, I would recommend the Split Dreamers, as they are specifically the gods that look over the dream. And then you can choose which one, although you technically follow both of them, but they're two different gods fused into one body.
Oh, interesting. So the Split Dreamers.
Alright. So, I don't know what this is. So,
Okay.
what is Spare the Dying?
Spare the Dying is a cantrip that you can use on someone who's unconscious, and they'll no longer roll death saves. So whenever you're knocked unconscious on the battlefield, on your turn, you will be rolling death saves. If you roll above a 10, you succeed. Below a 10, you fail. And if you get 3 of them, your character is dead. And if you roll 3 of them successes, your character is raised above. Or your character is stabilized. Spare the Dying just goes
So-
around all that and stabilizes them.
So, it's an automatic stabilization.
Yep.
Alright. And then Heroism.
Heroism is a fun one because it gives you temporary hit points.
Okay. I only kind of know how that works.
So temporary hit points, just think of it as like a cushion from your main health, essentially. So if you have 10 temporary hit points and an enemy hits you for 3 damage, it'll take 3 out of your temporary hit points and not your actual hit points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like an absorb shield. Think of it like that.
Exactly.
And then daylight spell, I'm guessing, just makes it morning.
Yeah, that creates a ball of light that pretty much activates as sunlight, and you won't be hampered by the effects of darkness.
Okay.
What is a cool god? I actually really
Oh
like
yeah,
this.
that's right. Since I'm a half elf, don't I have the dark vision?
Yep, you have dark vision. I believe Tachai's also get dark vision, unless I'm wrong. And I'm not sure about Kalashtar's, but I know Dragonborns also, I think, do. But let me check. Dragonborn. Dragonborns do not get dark vision, and Kalashtar's, I want to say they do, because every cool race has dark vision. They do not. Never mind, your race is not cool, because you do not have dark vision. So the only ones that do are the half elf, and I think the changelings do too, but I've been wrong about everyone I said that has. So
Maybe we could just check it right here.
they don't either. So you're the only one that currently has dark vision.
Woo! I can see everything.
You can see about 60 feet in the dark. And there are specific races that give you extra dark vision, like kobolds. They get superior dark vision.
Hey,
Oh.
someone's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So how would a racial dark vision, would it stack with the sorcerer's dark vision if I went shadow magic, or?
It usually supersedes it. So, for example, if you get like 120 feet and you have 60 from your race, you'll just automatically have 120 feet.
Okay.
They chap out rules, resent others' demands, and sometimes prove unreliable or at least unpredictable. I'm going for that latter half right there.
Mm-hmm. Monk is fun. I completely forgot Monk in my class description. But think of Monk as like your stereotypical fighter, but like street fighter, so like they fight with their fists, martial artist. And you can go to some fun subclasses like Sun Soul, which is pretty much Goku. You fire off like ki blasts,
Ooh.
and they have a
Goddamn
they have a whole bunch of cool classes that you can go. But that's not at level 3, so I don't want to talk your ear off about those stuff.
Let's see.
I mean, please do with also pleasure.
Okay, well there's Kensai, which is like the weapon monk, so like they're like I trained with the quarterstaff. There is Open Hand, which focuses on like fighting with your fists, your unarmed strikes. Shadow Monk is like the stealth. Elemental is like I have a heart of fire, so I can cast fire with my fists and like specific maneuvers like that. It's kind of weak, but like I'll give you flavor stuff if you want to go that way.
It's like Avatar.
Mm-hmm. Long Death focuses on like similar to Grave Cleric, so like life and death. Also one of the subclasses of the Dreamer. So if you want to go that route, you can. And I'm missing one. Open Hand, Elemental, Kensai, Long Death, Shadow. I think there's one more.
Drunken Master.
Drunken Master, that's the fun one. That's the they focus on improvised attacks and pretty much being a drunk.
Oh wait, I can't. It could be Boraicho.
That would be pretty funny.
It would be.
I believe it was actually based off of Boraicho.
Yeah.
In the sense that like their drunken technique, whenever you use flurry of blows, you can disengage, which means whenever you flurry of blows, you can just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Dude, honestly, that sounds really fun.
Mm-hmm. It's all about like fighting unexpectedly and catching people off guard with your fighting stance.
I'll give it a think about.
Yeah, you have like a couple of sessions until you get to level 3.
Yeah. Honestly, that's really dope.
Mm-hmm.
Be really funny to roleplay that, honestly.
Yeah.
Be in a bar.
Some drunk dwarf. Just
But I
like,
can't be drunk in real life. Damn it.
Oh, the best part is roleplaying being drunk.
Oh, great. Okay. I can do that.
For
I'm thinking about it now. You implanted a seed in my brain. Thank you.
A drunken monk. Hell yeah.
A half elf that's drunk all the time.
I'm really starting to look at these tieflings a lot.
Okay.
Chai.
I'll tell you a cool thing about Tachai. Whenever you, or like specifically what color you are, the season that like represents your season, and your horns are specifically like they have gemstones of that color. So blue
Yeah.
tieflings have sapphire, reds have ruby, yellow have like electrum or like a lodestone.
Limonite.
Yeah, lemonite, which is electricity kind of ore.
Amethyst for purple.
And then-
Champions moonstone and
Yep.
suffers obsidian.
Mm-hmm. So like that's like a very cool stylistic thing. And sometimes there are some instances where your horns just have that ore instead of like the keratin that makes it up. So like, you could just have full sapphire horns instead of like the mismatch of ore.
Huh.
But there is a big but. Tiefling horns or Tachai horns are extremely well sought after.
Yeah.
There are specifically people that try and hunt your kind for your horns. So keep that in mind.
interesting.
We're gonna get attacked a lot.
Some Tachai players actively remove their horns, which is a very painful process, but it's a process that you could do to kind of avoid suspicion. But
Would my character do that is the real question.
that is the question. Would your character be prideful of their horns, or would they not care about their tradition and just remove them? That is up to your character. Did he tell me his race? No, he's just said ranger. I think he asked me about Yanti though, so he might want to go Yanti.
Is it the Lamias looking kind of creatures, like the snakes?
Yes, they are the snake creatures. Although the purebloods are humans who have snake-like features, so like very like angular eyes.
That's cool.
In the like the original lore, they have no emotion, but I think playing a character with no emotion is dumb. So
Yeah.
I let them just have emotion, but like they are. I don't know what did I tell him. I just said he could play Yanti, but he has emotion because I think that's a lot better.
Yeah.
I agree with that. More fun.
Oh, I can't wait for you guys to get to the region features because then we get to get into the meat and potatoes of like the world itself.
I'm hip hopping between champion, summer, and winter.
Okay. Do you want to roll?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So in the chat, give me an exclamation point and then in parentheses 1d3. Alrighty, you rolled a 1.
Alright, champion it is.
Okay, you got the fun subclass. So you got the you're gonna be fighting one of my player characters at one point.
Alright, sounds like fun.
You better win, because it's a fight to the death.
Uh-oh. No.
Alright, and now that we got everyone's race, we can begin the fun part. Picking out your spells for those that it applies to. And for the others, for the ones that are picking more martial classes, which I think is Kukui and Ranger, I will give you guys the region features which you can mull over. Actually, before we do that, let's get your stats in order first. So, we have everyone's stats here. I have them written out over here. And we'll begin to like apply them to which whichever stats you have. So I'm gonna go with the benefit of the doubt and believe that all of you want to put your highest stats into your main stats, like your main stat you use.
Yeah, most likely.
More than
Alrighty.
likely, yeah.
So for Finny, who's going with a sorcerer, I'm going to put your 18 into charisma. And I'll just list you your other stats and you can tell me where you want them. So currently you have a 12, a 10, an 11, an 18, another 11, and a 16. Alright.
So my main stats, I believe, are charisma and constitution, right?
Constitution in general is just a very good skill to have because that dictates your health.
Okay.
I put your stats in the chat when it loads. It should load. Load. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
I see them.
So I've already got the 18 in charisma.
Sorcerers get their proficiencies in Constitution and Charisma. So you get proficiency in those saving throws. For everyone, for the first 5 levels, your proficiency bonus is a +2. So you add that to skills that you're proficient in.
Wait, run that by me one more time. I
All right.
completely blanked out.
Yeah, that's fine. So as a sorcerer, you get proficiency bonus in the Charisma and Constitution saving throws. There are specific abilities that demand you make saving throws. So, for example, if a barrel of acid falls onto you, you have to make a dexterity saving throw. Or if you get infected with a disease, you have to make a Constitution saving throw. And that's different from from skill checks. And then you get proficiency bonus added to those Constitution and Charisma saving throws, which is a +2 bonus from your class.
That's, yeah. Okay, I see the
Okay, I'm back.
proficiency up
Did I miss anything?
No, we were just talking about we're currently divvying out the stats to where everyone's going.
Okay, I'll wait for mine then.
Mhm.
For my turn.
Yeah, we'll just go in order. We're starting with Finny and then we'll go down.
I'll do 16 in intelligence.
Alrighty.
My 12 in. What do tieflings get again? They're
Tieflings,
right?
you are a champion, which means you get a +2 to Charisma and +1 to Dex. So that means you have a maxed out Dex of 20. Which at first level, pretty good.
Hello? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I said pretty good.
You're good.
And remember, in general, it's always good to turn an odd number into an even number. So with that, you can turn one of those 11s into a 12 if you put it into Dex. Is everyone following? Uh-oh.
12 in...
Fuck, I muted myself. I don't know how I did that.
Okay.
What was the last thing you heard? I guess I must have hit my button.
So the last thing I asked, and I heard nothing after, was due to Chai or Tieflings have racial bonuses or
yes.
of any sort?
So you get a +2 in Charisma and then a +1 in Dex. So because you put your 18 in Charisma, that automatically gets boosted to a 20. And then if you put that, like, it's always good to put an odd number to an even number. So if you put that 11 into Dexterity, it'll get boosted up to a 12 because of your
That's what I was
feature.
thinking.
Alrighty.
I wanted 11 in Dex, 12 in Con.
Alrighty. And then with that, you have a 10 and then another 10 or another 11.
11 in Wisdom, 10 in Strength.
Alrighty, that is you done. I guess I'll go over your skills real quickly, and then we'll focus your other skills when we pick regions.
I still gotta figure out what type of sorcerer I want.
Yeah. We can figure out that while we go over to the other people. Yeah, actually, let's move on. Kukui, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alrighty. Let's work on your stats. So you are. Oh, I see you have tile art already. Looking cool. Yeah, and in regards to that, I'll ask you guys for art for your characters after the session. You could just send me something as a placeholder. and maybe we'll get art of them from one of my friends who's in my campaigns, and I'll give them the nice little templates, and then I'll put them as your character art.
Alright.
Alrighty, so as a monk, you get your main stats you really want to focus on are strength and dexterity, as well as wisdom. So monks are mainly dexterity, so you kind of want to put your focus on the dexterity and then wisdom as a side.
I mean, I have 220, so put them in strength and dexterity, and then I want to put a 14 in my wisdom, and since I'm a half elf, that gives me a +2 right there.
Okay.
Oh no, scratch that. Make that a 16. And I get a +1 since I'm a half elf, so I can put it into any other ones, right? So
Yes.
what I'm
So
thinking,
you're gonna make your
I'm thinking
charisma.
a Constitution.
You're making your charisma. All right, hold on. Go over from the beginning again. You want to put your 17 in strength and 18 into dex.
Huh?
You want to put your 18 into dex and 17 into strength from your stats.
I have a 17? Where's that?
Oh, okay. So I said this earlier, but the method is 46 drop lowest. So you roll your 46 and then you drop the lowest stat. So these are what your stats actually are. They are an 18, 13, 13, 13, 13, and then a 17. That's what your stats actually are. Because you roll 46 and then you take the lowest and roll it and remove that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I said that earlier, but yeah, that's the main method we use. I apologize.
You probably did, but I wasn't able to hear it. So.
Alrighty.
Okay, so yeah, go with the 18 with strength, and then 17 with dexterity,
Alrighty.
and I'm assuming everything else is 13.
Okay. And then
And
you
then
have
wisdom has
yes.
increase. And then I want to give the +1 to. Did I already say it already?
I don't think you did.
Okay.
Where do you want to put your wisdom into? Because when you boost that up, it'll become a +2 or a 14, which is a +2.
I'll give it to some wisdom.
Alrighty. So bump that up to 14, and then that's you pretty much done. Next up, we'll go with Finny because you're next in the Discord. I just did Finny. I'm
already
stupid.
did me.
We'll go with you, Miz.
Okay, I think I already know.
Alrighty.
Okay, so let's start with. So I have 15, 11, 14, 14, 11, 13, right?
You have 16, 11, 14, 14, 11, 13.
Oh, you made it 16. Okay.
Yep, I boosted it up for you.
Okay. So we'll put 16 into wisdom.
Alrighty. Which is boosted because of your Kalashtar to an 18.
18, yep. 14 in charisma.
Alrighty. Is that what's the other thing boosted by Kalashtar? Let me see.
It is charisma by 1.
Alrighty, so that becomes a 15.
14 in strength.
Alrighty.
13 constitution.
Alright.
And the other two are 11, so it's intellect and dex, right?
Yep, it's int and dex. Alrighty, that's it for you. Let's go with you, Ranger.
Okay, then, so what was my stats again one more time? So I can go through?
Ranger, you have 14, 12, 17, 16, 9, and 12.
Oh, those are my stats.
Yep, those are your stats.
Oh, God. Oh, God. This is so... Okay, Jesus Christ. I feel like such a punching bag right now. Okay, hold on. Let me think for a second.
As a rogue, you want to focus on dexterity as your highest. And as a changeling, you have a +2 to charisma.
And 1+ to anything I choose. Apparently
Yep.
That's what it says on the thing. So.
Yep, you have a +1 to any.
Okay, I'm gonna write this down one more time. What was the things again? I have a what?
14, a 12,
Mm-hmm.
a 17,
Uh-huh.
a 16, a 9, and then a 12.
Are you sure that's mine? I thought we had something else. Hold on.
No, that's what you had.
I thought it was.
Remember,
okay, so
remember, you take the 46 and then you drop the lowest, and you rolled
right,
twice.
right. Okay, okay. Hmm. And what does a rogue focus on again? To be very sure.
They focus on dexterity. That's their
All
main
right, then.
stat, and then they focus on like as their minor substat. They focus on um, intelligence.
Constitution. Oh, intelligence. Okay, then. Then. Uh. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me take a look at my character.
You're good. Take your time.
All right, then. If that is the. All right, if that's the case. So 17, I will put in dexterity.
Alrighty, which
So
becomes
that.
17.
Okay. Let's see. For 16, I'll put for intelligence,
Alrighty.
since that's also important. Let's see here. 14. Hmm. Let's see. Do I put on Constitution or Charisma? What do you think?
Well, your charisma gets boosted
I'm
by
not
plus
sure.
2, which boosts that to 16.
Okay.
And then for con, that's always good to have as a medium stat because that dictates your health. So 14 it could fit for either of them. But you also have a 12
Wait,
which
so
can be boosted.
Constitution.
Hmm?
Okay, so wait. So which one has my like more health or less health?
Con is your health stat. So whatever your con bonus is, so like if you put it into 14, it'll be plus 2. You add that plus 2 to when you roll health.
Okay then. Okay then. Let's see. So I got the 17. I got the 16. All right then. So for 14, I guess for that one, I'll actually put into Charisma.
Alrighty, which gets boosted to 16. Because
Yep,
of your
then for
changeling.
12. So for 12, I will put that. There's two. So the first one, I'll put it into Wisdom. And
Alrighty.
the second one, I'm going to go to Constitution for that one. And then for my last one, it's going to be for Strength because, to my knowledge, Strength is only useful for like saving throws and athletics, right?
And it's also used for other types of weapons, which you don't really use specialty in. Your weapons that you use will mostly be using your dex. So, yes.
Okay, then. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, then.
Yeah,
alright,
it doesn't
perfect.
matter.
So then I will go. Yeah, so 9 in Strength.
Mhm.
So. Oh, yeah, I have that plus 1.
Yep.
Hmm.
So what you can do is you can
I
boost
only
that
want
17 to an 18 and make that a plus 4, which is always recommended. You want to boost the odds to evens, or you could boost that 9 to a 10.
That's true. Let's see. Brief. Logically, myself want to put in Strength, but you know what? For more logical reasons, and I think it's a better idea, I will put it into Dexterity. So that will be
Alright.
plus 1.
Alrighty, so you have an 18 in dexterity now, which is a plus 4. Sick.
All right, perfect.
And then finally, we have Ms, and then we'll have 0. Alright, Ms. Actually, I did your stats already. I am an idiot. It is Zero's turn.
All right.
Alright, sorry, I'm getting, my brain's frying because we're doing our session 0. I haven't done one of these in a hot minute, as you could probably tell. For your stats, you have a 10, a 14, a 16, a 13, a 14, and an 11.
Hot now.
And as a Dragonborn, you get a plus 2 to Charisma and a plus 1 to Strength?
Yeah. Well,
Or plus 2 to Strength and then 1 to Charisma.
go ahead and put the lowest in strength. Yeah.
Alrighty. So that is that is a 10, which is boosted to 12.
Yeah. The highest. I think that's a. For warlock.
You want that to be Charisma.
Yeah, charisma.
Alrighty.
Highest score in charisma.
So we'll bump that to 17 from your Dragonborn.
Let's see. Next highest. Intelligence, right?
Yep, you can make that into Intelligence. It's
Yeah.
a 14.
Okay. Then wisdom. No, wait. Yeah, wisdom, then constitution.
Alrighty. That's another 14. Then Con is 13, and then your Dex is 11.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That's it for everyone. That's all your stats. And now, for the spellcasters, we get to focus on spells. So let me get you your information for that. Or, if you want it to be easy, I can pick you the spells that might be the easiest for your class. I can kind of like pick the spells that I think might give you like the fun, but also give you the useful utility as well. It's up to you guys.
I think I'd like to see the spells.
Yeah, I think
Alrighty.
we could look over.
Alrighty. Let me get you the spells. It's gonna be a lot of sifting through whatever you think is whatever you want.
I will end up being a shadow sorcerer,
Okay. Let me write that down for you.
just so that way I know.
Yep, that's good because you get the shadow sorcerer stuff at level 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just remove these spells that don't really work here. No Wild Mount, no Ravnica, just no, none of them. These are fine. Okay, filter. These are for sorcerer. Right? Yep. All right, so I will. This is for you, Finny.
All right.
And let me get for Warlock. This is for you. This is for you, Zero. This is for the Cleric. Yeah, look for the ones that have first level on them, the ones that have the 1. I'm
just sorting them by level.
Yep. So the cantrips, I will let you know how many you get. So specific classes have some that they prepare, which means they have a set number that they can have a day, and they can switch them out at the start of a day. But for some of the other classes like Warlock and Sorcerer specifically, you guys have classes, or you have a set number of spells that you pick every time you level up. And then finally, we have... Who did I forget? We got the Warlock. We need the Cleric. I think I sent them all. Did I?
That's a lot of spells.
First one is Sorcerer, second one is Warlock for you, Zero, and the third one's for you, Miz.
Alright.
And yeah, you only click the level, so you can toggle it by level, and then you can pick out the spells for that. Let me see how many you get as a Cleric. You can also pick these out on your spare time too, so you can go through them, look at them, and pick out which ones you want. But I will just let you know.
Message you.
Yeah, I'll let you know so we can kind of speed things up, and we're not here for 5 hours discussing spells. As a level 1 Cleric, you get 3 cantrips. Level 1 Cleric, you get 3 cantrips. And you can learn, or you can prepare, up to a total of... It's proficiency plus wisdom, so a total of 6 spells. A level 1 sorcerer gets 2 known spells and 4 cantrips. 4 cantrips, 2 known spells. And then finally, a level 1 Warlock, I believe, gets not a lot of spells. Level 1 Warlock gets 2 known cantrips and 2 known spells.
Cool.
Alrighty. So for you guys to not be looking at that kind of stuff for 3 hours while we discuss, let's look at region features. So if you guys go over to the homebrew channel, the homebrew rules channel, and you look at the region features, this can dictate where your character comes from. You have one main region, which is like, for example, the Kingdom of Dumont, the Ravenna Forest, or the Heart of Confederacy, and then you have a list of little sub-features for that as well. Like for the Kingdom of Dumont, you have the coin feature, or the spear feature, or the cog. This can kind of dictate where you come from and where you grow up, also where you were born. And then it gives you a little feature. It gives you a main feature as well as a small little sub feature, which can be useful in combat sometimes. So, for example, if I want to be from the Ravenna Forest and live in one of the hidden villages, as I get the Phalanx feature, I know how to speak Sylvan. And then, if I already knew that, I would learn how to speak Primordial. And then for the hidden village, I could get one non-offensive druid cantrip of my choice, which is something I would tell you guys later. You guys following? Is that a little tricky?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I can get it. I can get it.
Yeah, I'll probably pick the Phalanx. I'm thinking the Phalanx for my character makes the most sense.
Okay. Phalanx is always fun. The Ravenna Forest, think of it as this giant forest that is pretty much on the same plane as the Feywild. It's where these two areas kind of overlap, and then it's this large, luscious pine forest, which is pretty cool.
Gust. Slide a hand check.
And Zero, because you are a Dragonborn, you get access to the Dragon Isle features. So, for you would get the Breath Recharge main feature. So every turn after you use your breath weapon, you may roll a d6, and if you roll a 6, you recharge your breath weapon. And if you choose the Metallic Union or the Chromatic Union, you can get different abilities. Like the Metallic Union have their wings, and the Chromatic Union have their tails, which can strike at a 10-foot range. And you can also upgrade it over time to have like iron barbs or like a reinforced end kind of deal. So over time you could like make your weapon a little bit stronger.
Oh, so hard to choose.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'll let you guys simmer, and if you have any questions, let me know. The Theocracy of Phoenicius, I will allow that, but if you want to choose one, there are extra things that go into that.
I was looking at
Okay,
that.
I have a different question.
Okay.
Out of all the worlds or all the kingdoms and such, which one is a perfect area to like say for like a criminal backstory, like a perfect place to start like a criminal type thing?
Oh, there are a couple for that. Every nation has a little hotbed of criminal activity. If you want to be from Varric, there is a crime syndicate background there that's under the Ravenna Forest. And also just in general, you can be from anywhere and still be a criminal. So you don't think you have to lock yourself to just Varric or another one of those areas. You could be from the Swamplands and be a thief. The Swamplands is the one that gives you a nice little bear as your companion.
That's cool.
Okay, that's in the continents of Idea, right?
This is the Valenham Archipelago. My world so far is just contained to the Valenham Archipelago. There will be points in time where other continents will be unlocked, but right now it's just that continent, as all my campaigns have taken place there.
Okay.
Where can I get my slime? My big slime.
You will probably have to get your slime built, or you'll have to have an arcanist or someone who's well versed in magic craft one for you through a ritual.
Can we have that as like our first submission?
Sure, you can certainly try.
Oh hell yeah!
I've got it. I'm gonna be a chromatic union.
Alrighty, there we go. You get your fucking sick tail.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
And because of how I got the backstory, like my character's backstory, deep ancestry would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, Zero, because you are a Dragonborn, you get the option if you want to be like a human dragon. So you can have humanoid features if you want, or you can be just the full Dragonborn. Either or is fine. And within the Draconic Union, that's like a big conflict right now, like between the Dragonborns, the pure Dragonborns, and the human Dragonborns. That's a big issue.
Well, we already have one half elf. Do you want to be a full dragon or be half a dragon?
I mean, because like it'd be
We
good.
could
It'll
bond.
add to the backstory. It'll add to the backstory of mine. So like, I think I should be a pure blood.
Alrighty.
Because yeah, I'm pure blood because of how my whole backstory is.
Alrighty, I'll add that. You are a pure red Dragonborn.
Okay.
Quick question.
Sure.
Barden is under the kingdom of Dumont.
Yes.
Okay, so if I want to be like from Barden, I have to be from the kingdom of Dumont.
Yes, you have to get that. You have to get the Kingdom of Dumont feature. So for those for those in the audience who are watching the video, if there are any of you out there, the Barden feature. Actually, Barden's a small village, so you would have to get one of the others, and then we just say you live in Barden, because Barden's like a very small village. In the sense that it's not big enough to have its own region feature, sub-region.
Okay then. Okay, and same thing with the 1 second, let me think up here. Same thing with Leuwenholt.
Leuwenholt has its own
Leuwenholt
feature.
it?
Leuwenholt has its own feature. It's called the coin. It is right under Alverholt. That one means you start with an extra 1d100 gold for the campaign. So depending on how well
Pocket.
Yep, you have a little extra bit of cash, which never hurts.
Okay then. All right. Let me take a look here further. And what's the perk of the other one? Let me see here. To be very sure of Alverholt.
So with Alverholt, the Alverholt's main feature is about spell scrolls. So spell scrolls are scrolls that are inscribed with magic runes and magic writing that lets it so you can cast a spell and consume it. There is a 25% chance that you do not consume the spell scroll when you use it. And then for wizards who can transcribe spell scrolls into their spell books, it costs 25% less and takes 25% less time. So that extra bit at the end is only for wizards.
Okay then. So then I'll be from Leuwenholt.
Alrighty.
Sorry.
Yep, it's called Leuwenholt. Holt means house of, so it's like House of Lewin, the people who are in charge.
Okay.
Oh, I've had this question since you first showed us the homebrew rules. What
Yes, sir.
is Crimson Malice?
So that is a fun part. So the Crimson Malice, because of how the Crimson Phoenix was originally set up, think of them as like Spartans. They are ruthless warriors who have used the Verge, I was talking about it before, as a weapon to fight people with. And because of that, they've went through and undergone extreme torture and exercises to put their body to the ultimate test. There is a separate table that I will roll when you pick a Crimson Malice or a Crimson Phoenix feature, and that will dictate how your character acts. So there is one that, for example, you have used. I can actually get it. I can get that for you. Let me see. There is one that says, the nerves on your hands make it so you cannot wield melee weapons or shields. You make these attacks with disadvantage. So they're like those kinds of features. So the features that you get with the Crimson Phoenix are very strong, but they also have a drawback that you have these malices that they
come at a cost.
Yep, and you can over the course of a campaign you can get that malice reduced. So like you can have someone from like a very well-versed medical history potentially try and fix your hands, or even just give you new ones.
Ooh.
And so when you're
I do have a-
gaining Crimson Malice, that's more rolls on the table, or
there is one that gives you 2 Crimson Malices, but for the most part they only give you 1. The last one gives you 2 because it is a lot stronger than the others. There is a D10 table that I will roll separately, and I'll tell you the feature when I roll them. And because you're from the
I do
Crimson Phoenix, I'll have to tell you a little bit more off screen because they're not really well liked because of their past. So I'll have to tell you a little bit more about that off screen. Ranger, you were about to say something? What's up?
Yeah. So one of the questions I wanted to ask was that with a faction, like, can you just decide a faction that you're already a part of, or you have to like earn that way to become that faction?
Because we're starting at level 1, you can say you're a part of a faction, but in order to become a higher up, you have to gain renown with that faction. So, in this campaign, with the Bastion... What's up?
So I can pretty much say I'm part of this organization, but I'm like a small fry. I haven't like earned enough reputation to become the top dog. Okay.
Yep.
Can I decide a faction now, or do I decide in my backstory?
You can do either. Either which one.
Okay, because I already have a faction I'm looking at that I like that would fit with my character very well. So I'm thinking I want my character to be part of the Black Cross Brotherhood, the people who do contracts and stuff. Because it makes sense. Like, she's a rogue, and I want her to have this criminal aspect. So she's there for the money and doing dangerous tasks and jobs. So I think this would fit her very well. And she has, and I already chose the god, that evil god, the sequel and stuff.
Lolth.
So hey, that works perfectly. Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That's something your character will have to keep on the hush hush.
No, of course.
Because you don't want to tell people you're from an assassin, especially people who are a part of a holy guild of people. But yeah, that's completely fine. And in chat, I need you to roll a D100 to determine your gold. So an exclamation point and then in parentheses 1D100 in the astral chat.
Oh, which? Oh, okay. So D100. All right. So wait, so it's an exclamation mark, a D, and then a space, and then 100.
It exclamation point and then in parentheses 1D100.
So 1D100. Okay. Okay, I got you.
All right. You start with an extra 44 gold.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
See, I have more better than you guys. I have more money.
You'll be like Flame Wrath.
Oh yeah. Indeed.
I am poor and you're not. Or I am rich and you're not. That's what he says.
Yeah, slave, peasant.
I'm thinking about Golirva.
Okay. Let me see that. So that I believe that gives you the Gust of Wind cantrip.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Just gotta close these other channels. I have channels for each of my campaigns, so I have to do a lot of scrolling when I talk to you guys. Alrighty. So you have harnessed the power of the cold winds that come from the north. Once per long rest, you can cast the Gust of Wind spell. Pretty good. And then, because you're from the Ravenna Forest, you get the Feylands feature, which means you get to learn how to read, speak, and write Sylvan. Unless you already do that, and then if you already do, you'll just get Primordial, and then if you already do, you get Primordial Plus. Which doesn't do anything, it's just for flavor.
Just to say that you're extra good.
Yeah, you're actually you speak it in italics whenever you speak it. Alrighty, I will write that for you.
With my race, can I decide 2 other languages, or I'm just stick to one until I learn one later on?
Does it say? Because most let you pick.
Let's see. Changelings language. You can speak.
Yes, two other of your choice. So you
So
can.
I know 4: the regular, the common one, the thief one, and okay. What other like languages are out there? So I should.
The other, every race almost has their own language. The other biggest languages in the world, other than Common, are Elvish, Dwarvish, Orcish, Goblin, Halfling, Gnomish. Like pretty much every race has their own language. So you can also speak Celestial if you want to be versed in religious texts. You can speak Fiend or Abyssal, which I believe it's called. You can speak Sylvan, which is the Fey languages, and Primordial, which are the elemental languages. But there are pretty much languages for everything. You can also speak Eternal, which is the language of the dead.
Okay, that's actually a good choice.
That's a lot. Do I have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
decide
yeah.
them now, or like
Um,
I can just say
you can
past some
decide
time,
them after the session 0. So like if you want to be like, hey, I want to learn Elvish and Dwarvish, you could just send me that when I ask for your skills as well.
Got you.
Because we'll go over all the skills and everything off after session 0.
Roger that.
Can I ask about the theocracy of Phoenicius?
Sure. What do you want to learn?
So you said that you had the mouses, which is like kind of like the double-edged sword you get,
Mm-hmm.
and so they have a history of like not being very light, right?
They are they were at one point the top like military organization. They pretty much struck out of nowhere. And remember when I was talking about Vana, that big city for one of the campaign premises?
Mm-hmm.
The Crimson Phoenix is the organization that burned Vana to the ground. So they pretty much struck out of nowhere, and after that attack, they became like the main focus of all the governments because they were so strong and their power was from an unknown source. However, as times have changed, the leader of the Crimson Phoenix, a man known as the Lord of Fire, he has shifted his gears from taking over the world to other goals. And as such, the Crimson Phoenix shifted into a theocracy that serves him as the only god. Or, not only god, but the main god.
Right. Because I was looking at the cindered armor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if clerics can actually wear.
Oh, they can. If you're from the cindered armor, you automatically get that proficiency. So you get an 18 in armor class. Offer it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really good because with your shield you can get a 20 armor class.
That's what I was thinking. Being like a tanky cleric. Careful.
I got my spells.
I think I like that. So we can do that if we want.
That is up to you.
Theocracy. Yeah. I'm thinking doing that.
All right, you're locking it in.
Yeah, with the cindered armor sounds.
Your last call because I'm about to roll your malice die.
Oh, here we go. Go for what I get.
All right, 1. You cannot use. Funny you say that because
Oh,
you get the one about weapons and shields.
No. Okay. I'll have to find a different weapon. Well, I could probably still use it. Just won't be as proficient.
I will tell you what that is. Your nerves on your hands make it so you cannot wield melee weapons or shields. You make these attacks with disadvantage. So while you can wield your shield, you will not get the full bonus as your hands are kind of shaking. So you only get a +1 bonus, which is still better than nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
And while you can't attack with melee weapons, you can attack with spells still. So you're not completely gimped in that regard.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's a cool backstory at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So your backstory would be like through your many different lives, which I'll have you roll a d10 separately. Actually, you can roll that now to determine how many lives you're on. So in the chat, roll me an exclamation point. 1d10 minimum. No, 1d10 max 5.
I was going to put max in like parentheses.
Yeah. So for example, you would do this.
Like this. Oh, sorry, I rolled it.
Yeah. So that means you're on your 5th life currently.
Okay. Cool.
So, because the Crimson Phoenix can harness the power of the Verge to attack people. So instead of reincarnating into different lives, you just reincarnate into yourself again when you die.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And you are from the Cindered Hollowed. You are from the Cindered Armor. Cool. Let me write that down. And you are resistant to fire damage. Alrighty. Kukui, are you here? You're the only one that hasn't picked their feature yet.
Ah, I got back.
Alrighty. You're good.
Okay, so those are my thoughts right there in the player general.
Alrighty.
Which ones are the ones I can't choose?
The only one you cannot choose is the one that's about dragons, as you are not a dragonborn. So you can pick kingdom. You can pick the kingdom, the hard oak, the swamplands, and the theocracy. You can pick all of them essentially.
Okay.
The only other suggestion that I'm restricting is from Ashurius because that is the citadel underwater, and you cannot breathe underwater at the current date.
Yeah, I have no gills.
Yep, no Gilly Boy.
So, who? Okay, what does everyone else have? Like, give me
So
like a
everyone,
nutshell kind of.
everyone just finished. Miz got the armor, the cindered armor from the Crimson Phoenix. Finney is the gust of wind, so he can use the winds against enemies. Ranger got the Lewinholt feature, so he has a little bit of extra pocket change at the start of the campaign. And Zero has the tail that he can attack with.
Okay. Wait, does the tail knock people prone or?
No, it's just like a better fist attack, so it deals a d6 plus strength.
Okay. Because as I put down the notes, those are my thoughts. Who said that they had a spare of the Undying?
I think that
That would be
Finney, yeah.
It would be you, Finney. So, how many times can you use spare of the Undying?
It is a cantrip, so you can use it as many, like one. If you were in combat, you can use it once per turn.
Okay, so I can cross out Hub of Medicine then.
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's the reason I didn't go with it either.
Number 3 seems pretty interesting because I'm all about melee, and I'm probably gonna go down the Boraicho path, which is probably gonna be hilarious. And we're like, "Oh, you hit me? Oh, think again."
Yep.
I could do that, or either the spear. As I mentioned, martial checks.
Yeah, that'll be very good for boss fights. So that's not
Yeah,
something
very
that
good.
you can also do that for just regular encounters too. But that'll be very good for the future. When you get higher levels, you'll be like, I'm glad I got this.
Yeah, but then again, I can always increase it by increasing my charisma, right?
No, it's an int spell.
Oh,
It's
okay.
an int skill.
Now I'm thinking, how much damage does the fiery soul do?
It
Is the
deals
same amount or
it
half?
deals equal to your con mod.
Con. Okay, so what
So-
is my con right now?
Your con, as you are the guy who's burnt, right? That's your image, which will change because we're gonna get temp art. You would deal 1 damage because your con mod is +1.
And where do I see my con at?
So if you go to your character sheet, hit space,
Yep.
so you can access that, and then the third skill is con, and you see that 13 there, and the 1 under that. That 1 is your bonus from that number.
My constitution? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it's not gonna do that much, but it is like peck damage guaranteed, right?
It is 1 damage that's guaranteed. So it's not the best, but you never know. 1 hit point can really come in handy when someone has 1 hit point and they're attacking you.
How high is my AC?
Your
I know it's a tenure,
AC
but
because you're a monk, you have unarmored defense. So that is it is 10. I believe it's 10 plus your. Let me check because I'm not sure and I want to give you the right information. Monks have pretty high armor class. Monks get unarmored defense, so they get 10 plus dex plus wisdom. So yours would be at 16.
Huh. So if I keep increasing my wisdom, which I probably would do, because I don't know how the hell.
How that works?
Yeah, because I'm imagining a drunken half elf being wise as hell while being drunk.
You can raise your stats every 4 levels.
Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking. Damn. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go for the spear because that's a good investment down the line.
Alrighty, good.
King Dermont. Simon is from that region. Simon's gonna kick some ass and take some names.
Homebrew, you get when making an improvised attack, you roll a d4 instead of dealing 1 point of damage. When you hit with this improvised attack, you can make another unarmed strike as a bonus action. So that actually will be pretty good for you, in the sense that whenever you like throw someone, like you throw a chair at someone, usually that would just deal 1 point of damage. But because you're an improvised fighter, that deals a d4 plus your dex, so it's essentially another unarmed strike. And then as a bonus action, you get to do that, which you already do normally. So it doesn't really have much of an impact, but if you want to flavor how you attack, it will deal more damage.
I can just imagine a bar fight right now.
Yep, that was the main thing.
Yep.
So you could throw chairs at people and they'll deal more damage.
Do you think I could throw people into environments like let's say
Certainly.
like a bonfire?
Certainly,
Okay.
if you throw someone into a fire, they'll have to make a dex save, and if they fail, they'll take fire damage. That it is very smart to use the environment around you, especially for tougher fights.
That actually plays quite well for my character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll go with that.
The DM will always reward people who like use the environment because they're usually set up there for a reason.
Does this mean I'm gonna get much love from you?
You'll all get much love from me.
Oh, I want to be the favorite. No, me.
Listen, you guys are like my children. I love you all equally. Come on, man.
Yeah, but there's some who are a little refined and then.
Are you calling your special snowflakes now?
No, I'm just a drunken half elf who wants love from the DM.
Alrighty. So, we'll quickly go over. I'm trying to like stall for Dream to get in so we can talk about his character, but I guess we can go over your guys' skills. So let me get like remove all the class stuff because you guys are good for the most part. I think the changeling gets charisma features. Okay, I'll have to check again.
Pretty
No,
good for
I mean, if I follow the god, I get deception. I know that.
Mm-hmm. And then you also get something else because you are a changeling as well. You gain proficiency with 2 of the following skills: Deception, Insight, Intimidation, and Persuasion. You already get Deception because of Lolth, so you can choose from Insight, Intimidation, and Persuasion to get proficiency in. Insight is like
Uh-huh.
what is this guy thinking, and is he lying to me? So like if a guy who killed your mother just said, I didn't kill your mother, you can roll Insight and then see if he's lying or not. Intimidation is like back the fuck off. And then Persuasion is like, I'm gonna ask you to back the fuck off, but nicely.
I will encourage you to back away at least 10 feet, please.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Please move away from my
Let's see.
friend's
Insight
opportunity of
involves
attack.
wisdom. So insight is the only one that involves wisdom. The other 2 involve charisma, correct?
Yep.
All right, so check my stats quickly. My wisdom is the lowest. My charisma is the highest.
But
so
even then,
logically-
if you become proficient in a skill, you'll get a +2 bonus to that. So even if your wisdom is the lowest, your insight will be a +3, which is better than a +1.
Okay,
How many
alright,
of
that's
us
good.
have dark vision?
I believe it is only Kuki who does. Kukui.
Well, I do as well, and I also have increased dark vision.
Yep, because you are a champion to Chai.
And I'm also
Alright,
shadow sorcerer.
Indeed.
So 120 there.
Okay, and I can choose 2 skills, right?
Yes, you can choose from perception or persuasion, deception, persuasion, intimidation, and insight.
All right, so I'm gonna follow the gods. I will get deception right off the bat. So then the other logical one is I'll do insight and persuasion.
Alrighty, and you'll also get some of these because of your class. So let me get you are a rogue. Rogue is fun because you get something that's called expertise, and we'll talk about that in a second.
All right then.
So, because you're a rogue, you can start with proficiency in the following skills. You can choose 4 from acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation. Fuck it, I'll just copy and paste this because that's a lot.
Okay.
I will copy and paste this. So you can choose from these 4 which ones you want to be proficient in. And I'll do the same for your other classes as well, guys. So you can just choose them either now or you can choose them for the break. This is Sorcerer.
Okay, so let's see here.
This is for Sork. This first one's for Rogue. This one
You said I
is
can choose 4 skills.
Yes, you can choose 4 from that list. From that list I just sent you.
All right then. Let's see here. See, academics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception. Fun. Sleight of hand.
This is for warlock. This one it will be for cleric. And then we need for monk, and then I think that's it. And then we need to do dreams, but he will be here in a bit. Hopefully he
Okay,
should be
so
here soon.
All right, I got my 4. So I'll
Alrighty.
choose the sleight of hand. I will choose stealth. I will then also choose investigation and perception.
Alrighty, investigation and then perception. Alrighty, now because you are a rogue, at level 1 you get something that's called expertise, which essentially doubles your proficiency bonus in skills that you choose. So you can choose to become an expert in insight, as well as your thieves tools, which you'll get access to at when you get your equipment. So you can be an expertise in thieves tools or in 2 other skills of your choice that you have proficiency in.
Okay then.
So I'll let you mull over that.
All right then.
Yep, I will send you the expertise feature right now because was that a little confusing?
Yeah, it was it was a tiny bit, so I could use a little
Yeah.
refresher.
So I'll tell you what it is. So of the skills you have proficient, you can choose to become an expert in one of those skills. So as a rogue, you can be an expertise in stealth, and your bonus will pretty much be boosted by an additional +2. So you have a +8 to stealth or a +8 to sleight of hand, and you get to choose 2 of them. Now you can do 1 for stealth, but you can also choose to be an expert in your thieves tools, which is important if you want to be an expert in picking locks. That kind of thing.
Okay, so I can either be an expert in 2 things or 1 thing, but also experience with my tools.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right, then that makes sense. All right. Ooh.
So everyone else, what skills are you proficient in?
So it says sort skills, and then there's another one that says skills. Do I choose 2 from the other skills as well?
So
or
it
just
says
the sort skills?
so the one that says choose 2 from Arcana, Deception, Insight, Intimidation, those are your spells. Those are your skills that you'll be proficient in. You can choose 2 of them. And then just as a general whole, because we don't do backgrounds, I'll let you choose an additional 2 to be proficient in as well.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yes. The only exception is that if your race gives you proficiencies. So, for example, Ranger won't get additional proficiencies.
Proficiencies is this race? Let's see.
I think Kukui gets one from being a half elf.
Callister, I don't think doesn't. No, they don't.
Lit.
I believe.
What are
Alright.
the monk skills?
I think I know which 4 I want then.
Kukui, you are the last one. That's monk skills.
Oh, okay.
I listed them for you, but I didn't write the monk part.
Alright, I know the first 2 I want to pick for the class ones.
Okay.
So we'll do. Remind me what insight is again?
Insight is trying to get the intentions of someone. So through their words, there's always a hidden meaning. And using insight, you can be like, okay, I want to glean what is he lying? Is he telling the truth? How did he say it? What are his intentions?
Okay, so insight and persuasion.
Alrighty.
And the second 2 I'm still thinking.
Alrighty. And Kukui, because you are a half elf, you get 2 additional skills that you can be proficient in out of any of them. So out of not including that list, so you can be proficient in any of them. So I'll say that again. You pretty much get an additional 2 other skills that you get to be proficient in out of any of them. Not from that list. So like the whole list of spells that are in your character sheet, you can choose any 2 of them to be proficient in.
Nice spells, you say? Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's because humans get extra skills, and since you're a half elf, you're kind of like a mix of both. So you said insight and persuasion.
Persuasion.
Alrighty, and then you get an extra 2 from your class. You know what? I'll be nice and let you guys get 3. You get an extra 1 because you usually have 5 skills that you're proficient in, but some get more than others, which is fine. So I'll let you pick 3 that are just from that list entirely. That's like depending on your backstory.
Alright, I've chosen what I want for expertise. So
Alrighty.
that one skill, it's gonna be within investigation, so increasing that, and then the other one I'm gonna put in with my thieves tools,
Alrighty.
and that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Coolio. And then I think that's it for you, Ranger, because you're pretty much done. So all I need from you afterwards is like you can just search up on Pinterest like changeling rogue, and then just give me whatever art you find that kind of looks like your character, and then we can roll with that. And then I just need a name for your guy or gal as well.
Sure, gotcha.
So for now, you are considered complete.
I just realized it's gonna be real tough to find a picture of the champion to chat.
You'll just have to
probably
look.
gonna
You'll
just
just have to
look at-
look up like black T'Chai or black tiefling. But Pinterest will be your best friend. Trust me. You guys will get some good stuff.
Since my characters are changing, can I just like give a human picture, and then if need be, if I have to show it, I'll get a changing one just in case, where if it reveals my identity. And
You can have one either being your base form or just your normal, the form that you always use. That's fine with me.
Okay, because I think I'll get 2 just in case. The
Alrighty.
human one, and if for some reason my thing was I'm revealed to be a changeling, I'll show the changing one. Just give me a second. Let me look at that.
Alrighty. You can send them in DMs. That's fine with me. Alright, let me know when you guys pick your spell or pick your skills.
I think I know what I want.
Alright.
So we'll do intimidation,
Alrighty. Intimidation.
perception.
Perception. Perception's always a good one to have, just in general.
Yeah. And I would maybe. I mean, I probably should have something. Intelligence, maybe Arcana for now.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I got mine.
Alright, what's up, Zero?
Arcana, perception, and persuasion.
Perception and persuasion. And then you get to pick an additional 3 more because of your... You get to pick an additional 2 more from your... just in general, from your quote-unquote background, which we don't have.
Yeah, okay, deception and insight.
Alright. Deception and then insight. Boom. Alrighty. Okay, that's good for Miz. That's good for Zero. That's good for Ranger. I think you guys are good. With the exception of Zero and Miz, I'll need you guys to send me the spells that you would like through DMs.
Yeah.
And I'll add them. Alrighty. Just shoot them
Yeah.
DMs. And now we have Thyman and Finny.
For my skills, I think I'd like Arcana, Persuasion, and you said 3, right?
You get 3 additional, yep.
And Religion.
No, you get 3 additional. So you get the 2 from your class, and then you get 3 additional.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
So you get I should say you get 5 in total unless you're like rogue and get master proficiencies.
Alright, so Arcana, Persuasion, and then 3 from anything, or...
From anything.
I'll do History,
Alrighty.
Insight, and Perception.
Alright. And then an additional little tidbit. I'm very lenient when it comes to like tool proficiencies you want. So like if in your background in your backstory you're a cook, I will let you have proficiency with cooking utensils. The only exception to that is thieves tools. That will be the only exception where I'll be like, no, I won't let you be proficient, because that's kind of like the rogue's job, and if you take that, that'll kind of make the rogue moot, especially if you're better than him at it. So-
Give me your
I'm
thieves
the
tools. I'm better with them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty.
I know what I want.
All right. What's up?
Diamond is a very acrobatic athlete who
Okay.
can persuade a good person. Do I get to choose one more?
And you
Or
get
is
to
that it?
choose 3 additional from the whole list.
Oh fuck.
Yep. So you got to give me more. You got to give me more sentences.
Uh. Hmm. Hmm. He's a very insightful man. where
Okay.
He chooses to either deceive or intimidate.
You can choose both of them.
Yes.
I think that's what he was getting at.
Oh. Well, you successfully deceived the DM. I'm pretty sure that makes you good. Finny, I just need to know the spells that you choose. And Sorcerer, you don't really get anything else. I think that means you're good too. We got your expertise, we got your patrons and your spells, you got to give me your spells. Monks don't really get anything that needs picking, and then you picked your archetype. I think that's good for everyone.
Nice.
I gave Dream an extra 30 minutes. And the fucker didn't join, so he'll be back later. But yeah, I think we're gonna end the recording here. We're gonna be playing every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you wanna come join us, we'll be live at the Twitch. It'll be in the YouTube description. Thank you guys for joining me. It's gonna be a great campaign. I can already tell. And I'll add your role name, your campaign name, as the... I forgot it already.
Fantastic.
The Fantastic Six.
Oh.
You guys are the new capital. Bada bing, bada boop. And with that, we're gonna end the recording. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace.